April of 1944, the first planes were sent into service at Lechfeld. The following October, this unit, by then called Commando Novotny, was equipped with some 30 of the new jet fighters. Shortly after entering combat, the Swallow drew blood for the first time. In June 1944, 2 Lockheed Lightnings and a de Havilland Mosquito fell victim to 262 guns. Another Mosquito survived, however, returning to England with photographic evidence of the new fighter's existence. Prop pilots found the jet's traditional stick, with the gun trigger at the top, comfortably reassuring. Ground crews always double-checked the gun safety switch. The Me-262 carried a lethal combination of firepower. In action, the jet was easy to support and didn't require the highly refined fuels of the piston engines. Instead, it simply tanked up with J2, a specially brewed version of diesel oil, and the aircraft's 4 fuel tanks took 655 gallons of the precious liquid. The aircraft was certainly well designed for a fast turnaround on the front. At the closing stages of war, some US pilots had the task of flying captured 262s out of Germany. Bob Strobell found the ease of maintenance impressive.
One of the things that you want to be able to do in combat is to keep the maximum number of aircraft in operation. And to do that, you oftentimes have to change engines on them. Well, changing an engine on a Thunderbolt is at least a full day's job, if not 2 or 3, even under the best conditions. And yet I know for a fact you can change a jet engine on a Messerschmitt Me-262 in 30 minutes.
The aircraft was equipped with free-floating leading-edge slats. These greatly improved the wing's poor lift characteristics at slow speeds. In a glide, they extended at anything below 187 miles an hour. In a climb, at anything under 280 miles an hour. Retraction, on the other hand, resulted from aerodynamic forces at high speeds. German field conditions near the end of the war were anything but ideal, but the Me-262 was just as rugged as many of the Luftwaffe piston-engined aircraft. Towing the plane was a job left to the Kettenkrad track cycle. This small gasoline-powered half-track combined plenty of torque with excellent maneuverability and was ideally suited to the task. The Kettenkrad could operate over a wide variety of terrain and in all kinds of weather. As the Luftwaffe's most valuable asset, the Me-262 was often afforded the luxury of covered and camouflage revetments, which, because of the constant threat of Allied air attack, soon became a necessity. As Allied forces advanced deeper, they discovered exciting new technologies hidden throughout Germany. Technology retrieval teams, like Watson's Whizzers, scoured the countryside in a trusty old C-47, earmarking anything of significance. Teams had the job of getting captured aircraft out. Watson sent Bob Strobell to deal with the Me-262.
He said, go down to Lechfeld, take charge of the group down there, train the pilots to fly the Me-262, train the crew chiefs to maintain it, and ferry him out to Cherbourg. And he left me with my mouth wide open. Was I trying to get to ask him, hey, hey, what do I know about? And he's gone, So that was my first introduction to Lusty. I found about anywhere from 25 to 30 jet fighters on the field, around the perimeter of the field, in revetments and in various conditions.
U.S. teams worked fast, encroaching Soviet forces adding to the urgency. Germans helped to get the remaining 262s airborne.
We worked with these people and didn't find any animosities amongst them. They were apparently pretty proud of the airplane that they had. They wanted us to to like it, and they seemed to be agreeable to working with us towards the end that we were going for, trying to get those airplanes out of there.
Great Britain was also quick to exploit the technology. Captain Eric Brown flight tested the 262.
Many aspects of their engine technology and their armament technology showed they were very advanced. And in fact, after we actually captured a lot of these aircraft, we were rather horrified to find how far ahead they were.
Among the extraordinary weapons discovered was the Ruhrstahl X-4 air-to-air missile. It was slated for use on the 262 and had been extensively tested from a Heinkel HE-111. Even more lethal 262s were discovered, including one equipped with a huge 50mm cannon. The barrel projected 7 feet in front of the plane and was so heavy that a counterweight had to be added to the tail. Because it was produced in relatively large numbers, more Me-262s were recovered by the Allies than any other German jet. Bob Strobell ferried many of them back to Cherbourg in France and became very familiar with the aircraft's unique qualities.
Was really impressed with the enormous speed, the effortless speed, the quietness of the engine, and the vibration-free. I was astounded at these 400 and 500 mile speeds that we're making without doing any great, just tapping the throttle a little bit.
Surviving Me-262s are few, and well-preserved examples are rarer yet. One of the most interesting belongs to the Planes of Fame Museum near Chino, California. Historically significant because at one time it was owned by billionaire pilot Howard Hughes, this 262 had a taste of revisited glory in the film Jet Pilot. The same aircraft, shortly after the war, was entered by Hughes in the Bendix Trophy Air Race, where it would have competed against operational U.S. fighters. Hughes' offer was turned down, however, because some feared the vintage German jet would outrun its competition. Among the racers Hughes' Me-262 was expected to face was the transonic North American F-86 Sabre jet, perhaps the most advanced combat aircraft of its day. The F-86 had acquired much of its wing technology from 1942 designs for a fully swept-wing Me-262. Although this advanced configuration was never constructed, the original Messerschmitt plans were put into practice by North American, converting what would have been a mediocre aircraft into a truly great transonic jet.